As highly sensitive people or empaths, it's a little bit more intense, so the challenges are bigger because of the depth of how we feel everything. So the positive and the negative are so profoundly felt, and it's more difficult for us to deal with those. But hello, beautiful. Today I want to give you 5 tips for facing anxiety and anxiety depression. This is something that, as a highly sensitive person, the more I read, the more I understand how our brain works and our system is designed and why we are more prone to anxiety and hanging on to negativity, because we are also prone to hanging on to positivity. But today I'm going to talk about tips to face anxiety. The first tip is to release it for a while, in the sense of giving our main worry, like giving it up to God. And there's a practical way to do this, and it's actually to take your biggest worry, the thing that's causing you the most anxiety, and write it down on a little piece of paper and tuck it away somewhere securely that is like no longer in your hand. And you do it with heart, and you feel your anxiety put on the paper, and you hand it and take it out of yourself and put it out somewhere where in your mind's eye it will be taken care of, so that it is no longer carried by ourselves. And it's really actually possible to do that, because when you think about it, our minds do know how to put troubles aside. If you go on an outing, if you go on vacation, if you're pouring yourself into something else, our minds have the ability to actually put things aside for a while. So I really like that idea of telling yourself, okay, I'm putting it away, and it's going to be in the hands of God for the day, for 3 days, whatever you feel like is the appropriate amount of time that you're actually going to be able to let it go. A second tip that I like to use, like you've seen in other videos that I've posted, is out loud positive self-talk. So often when I'm hiking like this, I will take a moment where I'm just going to tell myself some wonderful things out loud, telling me how well I'm doing, what an amazing woman I am, all my qualities, my resilience, and just positive, self-reinforcing self-talk. It actually works. It's a trick of the mind, but it does give a little bit of positivity and a little boost. Along some of these ideas, there's a thing that I really like to do, and it's tapping. I really like the meditations with the tapping solution. They have an app that you can pay for the year. I'm not speaking for them, but it's just what I use. And I find it super effective when I'm in the midst of processing emotions to do some tapping. During the tapping, if some of you don't know what to do, it's tapping on some meridians while you speak out first what is troubling you so that it is processed in your body, and then speaking the positive and what you want to let in. It's just a way of moving things and finding peace within yourself. And that's another thing that I use and that I find very helpful. The fourth thing that I want to talk about is to remind ourselves that we've been through hardship before and we survived, and we are still here. And if it's our destiny, we will get through this. And this is not going to be the end of us, but it is going to be something we get through. For example, at the moment, I am again in this fight or flight situation of not knowing where I'm going to live in 3 weeks now. And this is something that brings me a lot of anxiety, but it's also not the first time that I've gone through this. And somehow I've never been homeless, and things have always opened up to me. I have a magic for always finding beautiful places to live. It's just, I've been there before, and I've made it through. So it's just another thing to process in our minds. We have gone through things before, we made it through, and somehow our journey is continuing. The fifth thing I want to talk about is that sometimes we have the belief that we're supposed to feel good all the time. And I'm just really coming to get a grasp on, not that I'm mastering it, but I'm understanding it, that there will be ups and downs, positive and negative, and joy and sorrow. And that is the whole of the human experience and what we're here to experience. As highly sensitive people or empaths, it's a little bit more intense, so the challenges are bigger because of the depth of how we feel everything. So the positive and the negative are so profoundly felt and just take our entire being, and it's more difficult for us to deal with those. I'm not sure how to say this. What I want to talk about are pockets of joy. To hang on to these pockets of moments. Like this summer, I've had a few, like hiking on a mountain in my shorts when it started snowing. I have a video about that. It was pure ecstasy to me. With the way I feel things, this was like bliss. I've had a couple nights with a girlfriend where we just sat there and just talked about expensive ideas that made our minds kind of float out there in something bigger than the day-to-day life. And those were delicious. I've had moments where I danced and I felt a freedom in my body and in my soul, and the movement was really freeing and again delicious. And those are moments, pockets of joy, pockets of bliss, that maybe life is not about feeling that all the time, but we get those. And maybe if we just make a point, maybe note them down or make sure we remember them and just feel like it's okay that they are pockets, because that's life. But if we remember that and we know that they're coming here and there along our journey, then we get through the negative parts a little bit more easily. And I want to bring one bonus one, number 6. Go to nature. Nature is the greatest anxiety release. It takes it out of you, it sucks it out, it fills you up with beauty and with an energy that is nurturing and fueling. And to me, there is nothing like going in nature. So that's the bonus tip number 6, go to nature. So none of those are ways to eliminate anxiety. If there is one, I still don't know about it because anxiety is part of my life. But those are tricks and tips to get through them and to accept them for what they are. So as a highly sensitive person, I understand you. We're in this together. I love you. I will see you soon.